Alright, I said I was going to do a comparison video on my guitar with one of my other guitars. I'll clear some up real quick. I misspoke the other day when I did this video. I said I had a coil tap and a coil tap. I misspoke. I have a coil cut and a coil cut because I have double coil pickups. So when I pull one of my volume pots up, this one is for this pickup. It takes one of the coils and cuts it off, so it makes it like a single coil pickup. Same thing with this. This one, when I pull it up, it cuts this pickup in half. So I misspoke. A coil cut takes a double coil and turns it into a single coil. A coil tap, you can tap a coil anywhere. You can take a little bit of the coil away or a lot of the coil away. Like Bartolini pickups, or that's the first name that pops in my head for tapped pickups. I'm sure there's lots more than that, but those are the first ones that pop in my head. Because you can, with a coil tap, you can take any part of the coil away and make the coil smaller. So there's a difference between a coil tap and a coil cut. I said a coil tap, I meant coil cut. So told you all about this guitar. You've already seen this one, so I'll just show you the other one that I have, which is this. Is my Cowbell Desolation series. I believe it's called the SC01 or something like. It's got a number to it too, but I'm not sure what the number is. But it's called the SC because it's a single cut guitar. It's got one single cut out of it, so it's called the SC something. So this guitar may look a little bit like this guitar, but they're worlds apart. You can see the difference there. This guitar is half the weight of this guitar. Maybe not quite half, but it's way lighter, way lighter. You can see the difference right here in the necks, where the neck is, how it's cut away. This one is just made to wrap your hand right around. It's made more like something that's made to grab with your hand rather than a block that you make your hand used to grabbing. So that's what that looks like. So I don't even know where to begin. These guitars have the same body cut, kind of, as far as they're both single cut guitars. This guitar is very boxy. This guitar is far more sleek and slim, like it's got a belly cut, so that when you're playing, it hugs right to you. It's like it's not even there. It's like it's comfortable. If I did that with that guitar, I'd be like, ugh, I think I broke a rib. The controls are the opposite when it comes to, I think. It's been a minute since I played this guitar, but I'm pretty sure it's the opposite. But when you go to play the guitar, you still do it right. I don't know. I would expect to go the wrong way, because on the Les Paul, there's a volume and a tone, a volume and a tone. One volume and tone works for one pickup, one volume and tone works for another pickup. But there's flip-flopped from one guitar to the other. But I don't know why, but it doesn't seem to give a problem. They both have a stop bar tailpiece, ABR style bridge. They both have arched tops to them, which means they're not flat on the top, they have an arch. Both of them have an angled neck, so the neck isn't straight with the body, it's kicked back, which I love that. This guitar has active pickups in it, so it takes a 9-volt battery in the back. If you don't have a 9-volt battery in it, the pickups won't get any sound. So, but it's the only guitar I have with active pickups. I like them. I don't like them over the other pick. Like, my studio is definitely, in my opinion, somebody else's opinion might differ, but it's my opinion of all my guitars, to just pick it up and play it with no amp, or to pick it up and plug it in, my Les Paul is the best sounding guitar that I have. To just play it naked like this, or to plug into an amp, either way, in my opinion, my Les Paul is the best sounding guitar that I have. It's got Seymour Duncan pickups in it. I kind of attribute it to that, because all my other guitars have just whatever pickups came with them. Or I like the double coils from Stu Mac, but they're not really comparable to some Seymour Duncans. Another thing that's different from that guitar to this guitar, my Gibson obviously has a Gibson scale. This guitar has a longer scale. This guitar has what I call a Fender scale. Not that other guitars don't have different scales, but the frets on this guitar are further apart. So the bridge, that means the bridge is a little bit further down the guitar compared to my Les Paul. Both guitars are made out of mahogany. The Les Paul has has a wow, I can't think, maple top on it, a maple cap. That's what the arch is. I don't know what kind of cap is on this, but it does have an arch to it, but it could be all mahogany. I'm not sure. It has a flamed maple veneer on it, but I don't know if I think the veneer is just over mahogany. I don't think there's any maple in between this veneer and the rest of the body, which is mahogany. This is how they chose to do their necks at this guitar company. I love how they did that right there. That's the paint job. That's how they ended the paint job. It's like they just taped it off. They painted the part of the guitar they wanted to paint, and that's it. There's just a real nice edge from finished guitar to not finished neck, which I like the neck not finished. So, and I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but if you look at these necks, this neck right here is more round, has more of a radius to the back of the neck, where this neck has more of a flat spot on the back of the neck in the center. So this neck on this Cowbell is way smaller and sleeker and skinnier. Both guitars have jumbo frets, which that's always the way to go with the guitars, jumbo frets. I don't care what it is. Yeah, this guitar doesn't have any push-pull pots or anything like that. So it has, basically, I just have tone, volume, and a three-way selector switch, just like my Les Paul. But the Les Paul has push-pull pots, so it has the coil cuts, the in and out of phase switch, and the series parallel switch. So my Les Paul can get it's like 24 different sounds or something out of it. There's 24 different configurations that you can pick with selecting the pickups and switching it different ways. Most of them are usable sounds. So this guitar sounds great with the active pickups. That guitar sounds better. This guitar is fun to play. This guitar makes you want to play it all night long. I had I want to say it was a 66 or a 67 Yamaha. I can't remember the model of the guitar. I want to say it was like a SA 200 or something like that. But it was basically a hollow body guitar, completely hollow body. Kind of resembled a 335-ish, but but a 335 is not a hollow body. It's got a block of wood down the center of it. But this guitar was a big guitar with F holes, complete hollow body, and really fat neck, really small frets. Didn't really like the way it played, but it was a 67 or 66 model Yamaha guitar. It probably had a little bit of worth to it, not a lot, but it probably had, you know, it was probably worth $400 or $500. And I get on Craigslist and I see this guitar, and the guy wants, I think he wanted $325 for it, and I'm like, man, my guitar is probably worth more, but I don't really care what it's worth. I wanted the guitar to play, not to have to be worth something. So I thought, well, I'll call this guy up and see what he thinks about a trade. So I called him up and talked to him, and he thought I was going to want him to put some cash with it, and I didn't care about that, and I just wanted to trade, and he was like, yeah, he couldn't wait to do it. So he was in Athens, I'm in Battle Creek, so I met him, or he was in Union City. I met him halfway, I met him in Athens, and we traded guitars. He didn't even want to look at the other guitar hardly. He didn't, and so I looked this over and knew I wanted it, and it played nice and everything. And I was like, oh yeah. The only thing I've done to this guitar is I cut a new nut for it because the nut that was on it was a little bit messed up. So I cut a new nut for it, and other than that, this guitar has not been modified at all, which is rare for me. Most of my guitar, I guess it's not rare. I have a few other guitars that haven't been modified at all, but most of my guitars, I just can't leave stuff alone. I just gotta fiddle with stuff. I got to. So, anyhow, it's turning into a long video, so I'll cut it a little short. But this is another one of my hot rods. This one is really good too. I don't have anything but good hot rods. So, oh, there's a few other things I wanted to say about this. This guitar is kind of like, wow, it's dirty. This guitar is like a cross between, to me, it blends a whole bunch of guitars together. It makes me think of Paul Reed Smith because of the way this cut is right here. That makes me think of Paul Reed Smith, which I've never had a Paul Reed Smith. I'd like to mess with those. Something I don't like about this guitar, or it's not that I don't like it, just it kind of irks me. This is a 24 fret guitar with a longer scale. That's a 22 fret guitar with a shorter scale. I'm used to, see how the pickups are? How far apart the pickups are from each other? These look like they're like on top of it. It bugs me that the pickups are so close together. It's like, I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. The other thing that I don't really care for, and there's nothing wrong with this guitar, the way this guitar body looks, but I'm used to knowing that a Les Paul is the way it's supposed to look. The bottom is supposed to be round and not be squished like this. It kind of bugs me the way that it's just it's flattered on the bottom. Then it's the radius isn't this mostly. It's not round like a Les Paul is on the bottom. That kind of bugs me, but not enough to not play it because this thing is badass. So, I think I covered everything. Man, I gotta wash this thing. Oh, the other part about the pickup being down lower. Part of what makes that pickup have all the magic that it has is because it's further up the strings. So that's why it irks me that I don't need these two. I'm not no rock star like that. I don't play way up here on the neck. I don't never hit these notes up here. So I'd be good with that part of the neck not being there and that pickup being moved up a little bit. But I do love this guitar. I love all my guitars. I love guitars that I ain't never met a guitar that I don't love. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll get back to work on the car probably tomorrow. Oh yeah, when I come into this, I meant to say, hey, welcome to Brian's Rock and Roll Kitchen, because I did this video in the kitchen because it was the best light I could get. So I hope the lighting's good in the video. So see you guys on the next one. Have a good night.